LeBron James's future in Cleveland, interestingly enough, as we get set for elimination game here in Cleveland. And maybe, Dave, the talk about LeBron's future should surprise some, or should it not? What can you tell us?
Well, Sage, I want to say this first to be clear. This isn't LeBron James trying to lay the groundwork for an escape route because his team's losing 3-0 in the finals. But Ryan asked me on a show today, there's been some chatter, some chirping out there, that would he potentially leave the Cavaliers at some point before he finishes his career? And I said, absolutely, I think he will. And I think he'll end up in Los Angeles, either with the Lakers or the Clippers. I'm not sure when it will happen. He has one more year guaranteed on his deal next year and a player option after that. So he could be in Cleveland one more year, could be in Cleveland 2 more years, could be even in Cleveland even longer than that. But I believe part of his intention before he retires, and he went on the record last year with Bleacher Report and said he wants to play with Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony at some point in his career. I don't think that team is coming together in Cleveland. I think it's going to come together most likely in California, where all those guys already have a part of their lives together out there.
Okay, so certainly a developing story and something you and the entire sports world will keep its eye on. Contract info, by the way, in case you're wondering, again, last August signed a 3-year, $100 million extension. He has an opt-out after next season. On that note, let's welcome in our Stephen A. Smith. Your reaction to this talk, Stephen A.?
Well, listen, it's something that everybody in the NBA community has been hearing for quite some time. Anytime you're thinking about LeBron James, you're not thinking that he's going to end his career in Cleveland. Dan Gilbert's spending a boatload of money. It's not something he wants to continue to do for years moving forward. Obviously, LeBron James, he points to that as being one of the reasons why he left to begin with, not to mention the fact that ultimately when he decided to leave Miami, if you recall back then, he had some issues with their willingness to spend money and, trigger their luxury tax dollars. So this kind of situation where ultimately he doesn't mind being mobile. He wanted to come back and deliver a championship to Cleveland. He's done it. He owes them nothing. Everybody needs to understand that. And then we just look forward to seeing where he ends up next.
I still think it would be weird for him to leave again. No, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of the Cleveland Cavaliers fans, to leave again, I'm really trying to speak for the fans, Stephen A.
Yeah,
School me.
Well, all I'm saying is you go ahead and do that. That's a very beautiful gesture on your part. Nobody can knock that. But it really amounts to nothing at the end of the day because he delivered on his promise. Now, had he not delivered on his promise...
So here's a couple rings and I'm out.
Well, we didn't say a couple. He has one. Okay, all right. The other thing, he's been to the finals 3 times, but he's got 1 ring. He delivered on a promise because they hadn't had a championship in any sport in 52 years. This city is not somebody he owes something to. He has given them more than they bargained for.
Okay.
That much is true.